Good evening and welcome to SVG-TV News for Tuesday, October 7, 2025. I am Rochelle Batiste with the details. Education officers from St. Lucia, Dominica, and St. Vincent and the Grenadines are meeting in Kingston this week to explore strategies for strengthening education systems in their respective countries. The three-day Caribbean Education Forum, which opened today at Beachcombers Hotel, is a follow-up to the Full Potential program that began in 2023. The forum provides a platform for regional educators to examine emerging innovations and consider strategies to promote equitable and inclusive education across the Caribbean. Delivering the keynote address at the opening ceremony, Minister of Education here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Curtis King, reaffirmed the government's commitment to regional collaboration in the education sector.
And let me give you my commitment as the Minister of Education, and also to reaffirm this country's commitment to this mission. We will continue to invest in inclusive policies. We'll continue to support teacher-led innovation and foster environments where every learner can flourish. So, I say to you participants, facilitators and others, let this second forum be a catalyst, not just for conversation, but for action. Together, let us unlock the full potential of our students, our educators, and our region. Let us transform education, not just for today, but for generations to come.
The minister also acknowledged the challenges currently facing education systems, not just in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, but across the region. He stressed the importance of the forum's theme, unlocking full potential, transforming education through innovations, equity, and insight. Minister King said the theme is not just a slogan, it is a call to action that educators must take seriously as they thrive to transform the future of education in the Caribbean.
Across the Caribbean, we are united by a shared vision. That vision speaks to the ideal of ensuring that every child, regardless of background, ability, or circumstance, deserves an education that empowers, uplifts, and unlocks their full potential. And while I say it is an ideal, the truth is it is an ideal that we can attain. Yet, we know that achieving this vision requires more than good intentions. It demands bold innovation, a steadfast commitment to equity, and the wisdom to learn from one another.
Equity and inclusion in schools are being recognized as essential pillars of educational reform by officials from across the region, particularly from St. Lucia and Dominica. Speaking at the opening of the Full Potential Forum today, the Chief Education Officer of St. Lucia underscored the importance of building functional and inclusive classrooms that cater to the diverse needs of all students.
Too often, students in our schools face barriers. Not because of their talent or their drive, but because of circumstances they cannot control. Poverty, gender stereotypes, disability, and even geographical location can create walls that keep students from fully thriving. Today's focus on equity challenges us to dismantle those walls. Teachers, you will reflect on what equity looks like in your classrooms, whether it is differentiated instruction, inclusive practices, or simply ensuring that every student feels seen and valued.
An education officer from Dominica echoed this sentiment, stressing that equity and inclusion must be prioritized across Caribbean education systems. She noted that Dominica has already begun implementing initiatives under the Full Potential program to support inclusive education and is committed to sharing its experiences and best practices with other countries in the region.
Dominica remains fully committed to the Full Potential program, as we have already witnessed the positive impact that simple, cost-effective, and innovative projects can have on our students. Over the next few days, my Dominican colleagues will share how they, as teachers, are implementing or planning to implement low-cost, practical ideas to address real challenges in our classrooms. These range from interactive reading fluency interventions in grade 1 and 2 to targeted spelling programs in grade 5 that use inclusive, engaging strategies and personalized word list. Some of these initiatives extend beyond academics, focusing on students' well-being by creating safe and supportive learning environments where they can thrive.
Participants in the forum include principals, school leaders, and Ministry of Education officials from the 3 participating countries. Over the next 3 days, they will engage in workshops, discussions, and collaborative sessions aimed at sharing best practices, building capacity, and identifying concrete steps to make education more accessible, inclusive, and future-focused. In other local news now, we hear that the presence and expansion of Sandals Resort in St. Vincent and the Grenadines is already having a significant spillover effect on the local economy, according to Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves. Speaking on Monday during the signing ceremony for the construction of a $500 million beaches resort at Montwin Peters Hope, the Prime Minister highlighted the increasing economic benefits of Sandals Resorts. One of the most notable impacts Dr. Gonsalves pointed out is the increase in international flight capacity. He said the available seats to St. Vincent and the Grenadines due to the presence of Sandals has risen by 412% from 612 seats to 3,162.
Incredible numbers. This growth is driven primarily by the new routes introduced by the major airlines and the gateways, making St. Vincent and the Grenadines more globally accessible than ever before. Sandals, according to the Ministry of Finance, estimates Sandals' direct economic impact is estimated at approximately 40 million US annually, directly, 108 million EC annually, stimulating local businesses, agriculture, transportation, and cultural industries. This infusion has contributed significantly to GDP growth, foreign exchange earnings, and national development.
While acknowledging that certain details of the agreement for the beaches resort remain confidential, Dr. Gonsalves disclosed that the resort chain is purchasing 52 acres of land for the beaches project at a cost of EC $41.66 million. He described this as a significant investment in land acquisition alone, indicating the company's long-term commitment to the island.
And it's the construction and operation, as Adam said, the 500-room, family-oriented, all-inclusive hotel resort. And as you know, when you build beaches, given the additional facilities, you're talking about $1 million US per key. He says he's going to build this in phases. I understand they're going to do 350 first, and then 150. But that will take account of how the design going and when they get there, but that's the ballpark. Just like how we have seen expansions here. The agreement for Sandals, the beaches, let me just say this, we will have the projected total staff complement will be approximately 1,700. For the first 24 months of operation, 70% of the staff must be Vincentian, and we will have more than that, but we put certain numbers, which means that you will have nearly 1,300 workers employees from St. Vincent here. The remaining, so that's roughly 75% that number is going to be. And the remaining numbers will be comprising OECS and CARICOM residents and additional non-nationals from beyond the region. It's an international resort.
The Prime Minister said the agreement also includes a clause that supports local agriculture and fisheries. Beaches Resort is required to produce local produce and seafood from Vincentian farmers, fisherfolk and suppliers, subject to availability and meeting resort quality standards.
Don't let farmers and fishermen, don't let anybody tell you any lie. You're hearing it from the comrade and what we put down on paper. The duty-free concessions for the import of food, wines and alcohol in respect of the hotel contains the following exception. With the exception of agricultural produce and seafood, which shall be purchased locally, provided that same are available in adequate quantity and of satisfactory quality required for a 5-star luxury all-inclusive hotel resort. If not so available, the beaches may import the same with identical concessions. I just want to make the point that these concessions which Sandals get are identical to any Vincentian or other company which invests in a hotel, 50 rooms or more. We are transparent about these things. No.
In terms of employment, the Prime Minister noted that he has requested that no less than 50% plus of the construction workforce be made up of Vincentians. The planned Beaches Resort is expected to feature 500 rooms, multiple restaurants, entertainment venues, and water-based attractions. The design of the resort is expected to commence in 2026. Welcome back. A family in Glen is in mourning following the tragic death of 31-year-old chef Denroy Black, who succumbed to his injuries earlier this morning at the Milton Cato Memorial Hospital. According to family members, Black was allegedly stabbed by his girlfriend during a domestic dispute that occurred around 12:50 a.m. today. The incident reportedly took place in the kitchen of their shared residence. His sister Denise Black described the relationship between her brother and the suspect, who had been dating for approximately 6 months, as toxic. She said she was informed of the incident when a family member called to tell her there had been an altercation that escalated into violence.
My brother, and when I was asleep last night, I believe they tried to call me, but my phone was on vibrate, so they called my daughter. And I was like, I wonder who could be calling my daughter, because she's 10 at this hour in the night. But listening to the conversation, I realized, and then when I took the phone, I heard he was saying, "Yo, you gonna do that?" And then I heard screaming in the background, but the screaming sounded more like the same young lady, Brittany. Like she was screaming out in the background. But other than that, I don't know what could have caused the argument, because it sounds as if that they're always in contention. It's like it seems as if the relationship was rather toxic. So they're always in some contention. But I think last night my mother and my brother probably thought it's just one of those nights. So they wasn't really paying attention to them until when probably he called out to Mommy, Danny, and say, "Look, Bruce stabbed me."
A statement from the Royal St. Vincent and the Grenadines Police Force said that preliminary investigations indicate that Black sustained a stab wound to the neck during the altercation.
Yeah, and I remember telling my brother, try and put pressure on the wound. So he told me that's what they're doing, but I was looking for the police at the same time. you know, and but I don't know what happened after that. When I went down to the hospital, I saw him in the back of the police pickup. When I went up, I saw a big hole in the left side of his neck. Yeah. But I also see they put a piece of cotton on his arm, so probably he has a wound under his arm as well, I'm not sure.
Denroy Black, a father of one, was the brother of 4 siblings. His sister shared that the family had been in a celebratory mood over the weekend and that Denroy had been making plans for his girlfriend prior to the incident.
He was a jovial person. Honestly speaking, from time to time he will get into like a fiction with his brother at home. You know, sometimes he will also with my mother, you know, back and forth with my mother and everything, because he's strong-headed, yes. You know, so you don't like nobody tell him what to do and everything like that. But apart from that, when it's family time, it's family time. It was just Friday. We went to a graduation. One of our brothers had just passed out in the police force. And who would have known that today we would have been, you know, saying condolences or rest in peace to our brother. Same young lady who did the stabbing. Today's her birthday, because remember we were all discussing it on Friday, because yesterday was my daughter turned 4 yesterday, and today would have been his girlfriend on, and then Friday is my son. Another son of mine is gonna be 14 on Friday, and mine's is Sunday. Wow. So we was talking about the big celebration, and boy, we have to really do something together, you know. But I've never actually met Brie. I've never actually came out here while she's out here, and I've been passing my mother for a while. We just see each other, but not out here. Usually in town, or we have a piece of land we just want to walk, so we will gather there.
And the same girl stabbed her already.
The Royal St. Vincent and Grenadines Police Force said that the female suspect is in custody, assisting investigators with their investigations to determine the full circumstances surrounding the incident. A post-mortem examination is scheduled to ascertain the official cause of death. The police have not yet laid charges and investigations are ongoing. The recent upgrade to the national smart meter system marks a pivotal moment in the country's ongoing efforts to modernize its electricity infrastructure. According to electrical engineer with Vinleg, Rochard Smith, the development lays the groundwork for even more advanced solutions in the near future. Speaking during a press briefing on the energy sector's modernization efforts, Smith said that plans are already underway to implement an advanced metering infrastructure system. This system will offer a more efficient, accurate, and responsive method of managing electricity consumption as the sector embraces cutting-edge technology. The
existing meters that have been there, they've been there for about 30 years. Right? So as time change, technology also gets better and improved. So I think we're at the point where we want to make things better for our customers. So the decision was made to do a system-wide upgrade to new meters, and we wanted a system that can transition to what we want for the future, which is AMI, which is Advanced Metering Infrastructure.
Smith noted that the benefits of the new infrastructure go beyond technical efficiency. The smart meters are expected to drastically reduce the need for manual meter readings, minimizing human error and improving billings accuracy. Consumers will also gain access to detailed data about their energy use, helping them make more informed choices and potentially reduce costs.
Currently, we take about 30 days with the existing system for the meter readers to go around. We believe that when we have a full AMR system, it should take us about a week. And ultimately, in the future, when we move to AMI, it should take us 15 minutes. And that's to read all of the meters in St. Vincent and Grenadines. There are no intentions to cut any jobs. So there is a period where the meter readers themselves can be transitioned into different parts of the business, and we will need meter readers, especially in the first phase of what we're doing in the EMR phase. So the handheld devices, of course, will be used by them. They're currently using them in some areas because we have started that transition already. Okay. So if I'm to be controversial as well, I would like to believe that in the future, instead of cutting persons, we might actually need additional persons. Because think of it, when you are collecting more data on your network and you're learning about areas that you can improve, you may need additional persons to help fix some of those problems that you encounter or you find.
To ensure that the transition is smooth and inclusive, Smith announced a series of town hall meetings will be held in various communities, including Richland Park and North Union. These sessions will give residents the opportunity to ask questions, express concerns, and better understand how the new system will be implemented in their areas.
So the full rollout started about 3 or 4 weeks ago. We are now in some targeted areas, and that's the same areas that we're hoping to have the town hall meetings in. You guys would have those.
Yes, I read that. Actually heard that.
Yes. So we are focused on Richland Park and surrounding areas, Bayabon surrounding areas.
Union, Adelphi.
Yes, correct. And at the end of this week, we'll be having town hall meetings in those areas, which is on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And we're encouraging persons to come out, ask some questions, learn about the project. We want to have that discourse with our customers so that we can also learn from them as well.
Smith emphasized that the smart meter upgrade is part of a broader national strategy aimed at promoting sustainable energy use and technological innovation. By modernizing infrastructure now, the country positions itself to meet future energy demands while aligning with global sustainability goals. The National Parks, Rivers and Beaches Authority, the NPRBA, hosted the first in a planned series of 3 town hall meetings last Thursday at the Calico Town Hall to discuss the newly introduced Beach Vending Act 2025. According to a news release from the authority, the meeting was deemed a success, attracting participation from beach vendors and other key stakeholders. These included representatives from the Ministry of Tourism and the Attorney General's chambers, who engaged in open and transparent dialogue on the legislation and its implications for both local livelihoods and the protection of St. Vincent and the Grenadines' coastal resources. Overview of the act during the session, the NPRBA officials presented an overview of the Beach Vending Act, outlining the purpose and scope of the legislation, authorized vending activities and designated beaches, licensing and permitting requirements, provisions for penalties, appeals and inspections. The authority noted that the town hall facilitated a lively and constructive discussion with vendors sharing on-the-ground perspectives and seeking clarification on how the act will support small businesses while ensuring the sustainable use of coastal environments. The Beach Vending Act 2025 is intended to bring greater structure, regulation and environmental accountability to vending activities along the nation's beaches, which are vital to both tourism and community livelihood. The NPRBA said 2 additional town hall meetings will be held in the coming weeks as part of its public engagement strategy. These meetings aim to continue the dialogue, gather feedback and provide updates on the implementation of the Beach Vending Act 2025.